From the mountain tops to the prairies wide, we carved our dreams where the wild winds ride. With pick and shovel we staked our claim. Through fire and rain we bore no shame. The red dirt stained our boots and skin, but it built the place we all live in. Oh, red dirt nation, rise and stand. From the treasures deep in the soil's hand, a family of brothers hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land. The river sang as we toiled away. Their whispers kept the fears at bay. Fields of gold from the seeds we sowed, a testament to the lives we owed. Though the wind may howl, the earth may quake, but roots run deep with every stake. The blood, the sweat, the laughter too. This red dirt binds me and you. Oh, red dirt nation, rise and stand. From the treasures deep in the soil's hand, a family of brothers hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land.
How's it going, everybody? Red Dirt
Hey.
Nation is live. I'm 403 Prospector. This is Nick, Prospecting 406. Stacy, 406 Minor. We have a wicked live for you guys tonight. We've got Andy all the way from Aussie Gold Hunters, and the Prospector podcast and Diary of a Prospector is his YouTube channel. Anyways, without further ado, it's 1:30 Australia time. Here he is, Mr. Andy.
G'day everyone.
How's
Hey,
it going, man?
How are
Excellent
you?
guys. How are you all going?
Good. Thank you for coming up.
No worries. Look, it's always great to have a chat to another prospector. It doesn't matter where we're from.
Likewise.
Right on. It's good to meet you, Andy. It's daytime there. It's really weird seeing daytime and it's pitch black where we are.
Yep.
Yeah, and look, I sort of got my times muddled up, so I thought I had about an hour more. So I'm actually just at a park next to the highway at the moment. Hopefully you can hear me all right and everything's coming through well.
You're great.
I hear you
it's
good.
great.
Found the best Wi-Fi network you could, and just all right. Here we go.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Cool. Thank you,
Coming
man.
into our summer now, so we're getting beautiful days, and yeah, it's really good at the moment. It's a good time of year for us.
Oh, that's cool.
I did. I love your shirt. It's kind of like a little tribute to
fellas.
Aussie there.
Nope.
Yeah, I love it.
There you go.
Missing Aussie, missing
Yeah,
him a lot.
It's our music festival season, so I've been catching a lot of music lately and not much gold, but it's that time of year for us as well. So,
Right
Fun
on,
either way, though,
on.
right?
yeah.
All about
I did
people.
want to say, I want to pay my respects to all the Aussies right now, and to the mass shooting that happened over the weekend, and just kind of have like a little moment of silence for everyone that who's injured or who passed away. down on Bondi Beach during that horrific last shooting. It was something nobody should go through this time of year. That's especially during a celebration of their
Yeah.
faith, right? So, yeah, our
Yeah.
condolences to everybody and thoughts and prayers to everybody in Australia there.
Thanks,
Yes.
guys.
Mhm.
It's not something we deal with very often. This is a really unusual thing to happen in Australia. So it'll change our lives, and obviously just the sadness of it all. Families celebrating. It'll shake our country to the core because this doesn't happen in Australia.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Well, I can tell you right now, we're feeling it across the pond over here, especially
thanks,
in
fellas.
Canada, because we have we're all part of the Commonwealth, right? So we're definitely feeling it over here too. So yeah.
Cheers, everyone. Yeah.
But anyways, let's talk gold. That's why we're here.
Yes.
The shiny stuff.
Find out
Andy,
anything
first,
you want to know about Aussie gold. Good time to
yeah,
go for it.
everyone we talk to, their bucket list, we always ask, where's your bucket list? You want to go to look for gold? The first one's always Australia.
Yes.
Mhm.
We're just blessed with really nuggety gold. We just get, as far as like detector operators go, or even running a pan or a sluice, it's just a great place. There's, ounce nuggets are such a rare thing in nature, and we find a lot of them all the time. Barely a year goes by I don't get at least a few nuggets over an ounce. So, it's just an amazing feeling finding that nuggety, chunky gold. Now, the Palmer River is quite interesting because, at one point in history, Cape York, up where Palmer River is in California, were side by side. Before they split, and you guys went running off up to the north up there. So, it's very similar gold, and of course, we know how rich California was as well, and that's what Cape York's like. Very similar sort of gold fields.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's neat. Yeah, those reefs are interesting. Like, it looks completely different than when you're hard rock, and you call them reefs, we just call them quartz veins. Like, it
Yep.
looks different because it looks like it's so weathered out that it's just right on the surface.
Yeah, well, that's right. We get a lot of alluvial gold for sure. And even a lot of our eluvial gold, the stuff on the side of hills, it's just ancient rivers anyway. So it's really all alluvial gold. And there's actually very few hard rock mines on Cape York. Well, there is a lot, but there was very few successful ones. So you'll come across plenty of test holes or ones that went down 20, 40 yards down into the ground, but they weren't successful mines. But as far as alluvial gold goes, gold in creeks and rivers, it was thick. Like the old timers in the books from the gold rush days on Cape York, especially from the Palmer River, describe the gold coming out of the ground like treacle comes out of a honey pot. It was like inches deep of nothing but pure gold. It's pretty amazing as far the river of
Wow.
gold. There's actually a book about it by a guy called Hector Holthouse, and it's called The River of Gold. And if you want to read a really good bit of history, that book will keep you occupied for a few days.
River of Gold, hey?
Yeah, it's just looking for my
by
pen.
Hector Holthouse. Yep.
Okay. We always ask everybody, where's your bucket list to go gold mining? Where is your bucket list to go gold mining?
Alaska. So,
Alaska. Okay.
just because it'd be, I like a challenge, so, and I figure it's going to be cold, but not cold enough to kill you fellas, so probably won't kill me either. But
Layers.
like, of all the shows that I like to watch, it was Ice Cold Gold, like the ones where you're, going in under ice searching for gold. That's so alien to us. That's the one that intrigued me. So I know you watch us running around in the outback or in a desert or whatever and think that looks pretty cool. Well, on the opposite end of the scale, I think, going dredging for gold like that would just be amazing.
Oh, wow.
So Alaska's your bucket list.
Yeah, absolutely.
TV series that do all that dredging and stuff. So we can definitely hook you up with some names.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We know a couple people.
I might
Yeah.
have to go and check the social media to see if I'm going to be allowed in the country now, though. It's getting hard to get over there, guys.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
just
you
have to
guys
sell a little bit of those nuggets.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah,
gotta scrub your social media before you come by.
yeah. No, look, I'm pretty good. I've got to be a good boy when you're on TV, anyway. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, we don't talk about TV here.
Yeah. Oh, good, good. No,
How
look,
did
yeah.
how did you first get into gold prospecting, and what initially got you hooked?
Well, a bit of a long story for me. I was actually a surfy boy growing up on the coast, usual Australian story, and I injured myself surfing, did a pretty bad back injury, and that was when I was about 25, and walking was part of the healing process, and I got bored with just walking, so I thought I'd go out to a spot a couple hours away where you get a lot of crystals, a lot of topaz and quartz crystals, and go walking there and pick up any shiny things I saw, and I did actually find some good topaz and some good quartz. And I started getting into it instead of surfing all the time. Now I was out chasing crystals and gems. And
Oh,
then
nice.
met a bloke who knew how to gold pan. He taught me how to pan gold. And yeah, the rest is history, eh?
No,
Sweet.
found that one piece.
Yeah, that's right, mate. Panned a couple of bits of gold and then just away I went. It was just there. And I drifted in and out of it a bit. I do like to chase gemstones. I'm quite a good gem faceter as well. So we get some good sapphires and garnets and, of course, opal and everything over here. So,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I go out chasing them. But if you want to make money, gold's just a more secure income.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned different minerals that you guys have there. What's your favorite other mineral to go look for besides gold then?
Yeah, sapphires. I love chasing our sapphires. Australia's got some just beautiful deposits. And I actually got stuck on the whole ruby thing as well because ruby's just a red or a pink sapphire at the end of the day. But they're fairly rare in Australia. So I spent about 10 years sort of hunting rumours of rubies in these hills, and I eventually found some. So that was a good hunt, in the end, to eventually, after 10 years of searching mountain after mountain and gully after gully to find rubies, it was great. So yeah, sapphires and rubies, they're the ones I like the most.
Cool. Yeah, me too. There's lots of sapphire mines over here where we're at too.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have seen some beautiful sapphires come from your guys next to the wood in Montana. Is that right?
Yep,
Montana,
we're in Montana. That would, yeah.
just down the road from where we're at.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
What is it? An hour away?
Yep.
that's pretty good, pretty close, really. So
Yeah.
that's always handy. Ours always seems to be an 8-hour drive or a 3-day, massive road trip to get somewhere.
Oh, yeah,
Oh
no.
God. No thanks.
Yep.
Yeah, no.
But no, I'd love to get over there too. Like, obviously, I'm a big fan of geology. I really like the geology behind everything. Every time I find a new rock, I've got to understand how it was made and the theories. And as far as geology and beautiful sort of landscapes, you guys are blessed. Like, I'd love to get over there and see all the natural wonders you've got. It's great looking area.
Yeah, Western United States is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
It really is. Like Yellowstone, obviously, but I don't know. Yosemite looks like the sort of place I'd wander around for days, I'm sure.
Yeah. We got a place up here called Glacier National Park. It's right next to Canada. They got a sister park called Banff just north of it. Amazing glaciers and awesome mountain roads.
It's beautiful. It's
beautiful country.
It's stunning. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're lucky to live in this part of the world. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, you are, and Aussies feel the same most of the time. Obviously, we get some extreme weather, and you guys get that too. But that sort of comes and goes. But overall, pretty lucky. We all feel pretty lucky to live here. Yeah, we might be the descendants of convicts, but we're better nowadays.
Yeah, right. What point did prospecting go from a hobby to a serious pursuit for you?
Well, I guess my kids grew up and left home, so and I was sort of single and co-parenting as well. But then when the kids all eventually left home, I sort of went, well, do I keep doing my job because I'm a qualified, plasterer, gyprock plasterer and a cement renderer, so I had a fairly good trade behind me. And I thought, well, do I keep doing that or do I go and have a crack at doing the thing I love? And then it just sort of snowballed from there. Within 12 months, I got onto Aussie Gold Hunters. But then when it really took off is when I got onto Palmerville Station up on Cape York there about 6 years ago. That changed everything for me because all of a sudden I went from scraping by to, holy shit, I'm making a living out of this. This is actually working. And that just changed everything. It really, it snowballed and now I wouldn't do anything else.
That Palmer region is really rich in gold, hey? Like, is there a lot of history up there with old timers and stuff?
Yeah, there is. At one point in time, the Palmer River had the biggest population of Chinese outside of China. So we had about 20,000 Chinese diggers on the Palmer River. And then all the Europeans, and we even had guys that come across from California and all the ones we had in our southern gold fields. So and that was in about 1873. So and then by about 76, the rush had pretty well died away. But for that 73, 74, this place was, the Palmer River had about up to about 35,000 people there. And so remote and such a treacherous part of the world that there was a lot of amazing stories. But let me tell you, there's a lot of grave sites around the place. It was a deadly history, a really good history when you read it, like a lot of gold fields. Just like, the Yukon rush and stuff, how people got caught out by what they didn't know, which was the weather usually. So
the weather, exactly. Yeah.
So is the weather the biggest problem in Australia?
Well, the Palmer River's, as far as Queensland goes, was a super rich gold field, but that Golden Triangle down in Victoria, pound for pound, was, as far as I understand, the richest dirt on earth. So you could get a lease down there back in the gold rush that was 9 foot by 9 foot, and a bloke could make his fortune out of that 9 foot. So that was pound for pound. They were hitting the pay layer, and the gold was a foot thick, just nothing but gold. They didn't call it a nugget unless it was over 20 ounces. It was just gold unless it was over 20 ounces. So we're pretty blessed. And our gold rushes came late. Australia being discovered late. They weren't pillaged, not like Europe or even South America or Africa, or so just such untouched, rich wilderness that gold still comes out to this day. That kilo nuggets are pretty common still in Australia. So
are you finding that there's a new era of a gold rush coming?
There is always new ground coming. Look, the old timers needed really, really rich ground to survive. They could survive on about 2 ounces a day, but they had to find more like 4 or 5 ounces a day to really be surviving. So they walked away from a lot of ground that we walk into now, and we just think this is amazing. Like we'll get 20 or 30 ounces out of one little area with the detectors that the old timers just walked away from. So that leaves scope for a lot of new areas to open up and new ground to be found. There is still huge parts of Australia that have never seen any sort of decent prospecting in the last 50 years. So.
Really?
Yep.
So when you're going out there and looking for places to prospect with your detector, then what do you do how do you pick it? Researching, your intuition?
Yeah, so a lot of both. Obviously, after 25 years, you get pretty good at reading the ground. But research is a huge part of what I do because we have got such a vast wilderness. You do want to pinpoint areas and make a game plan as well. So I use geology a lot. We have recently got LiDAR hill shading come out in Australia as well. So that LiDAR shading has been invaluable for finding old mines, old diggings in really thick bush that no one ever knew existed. So we're using that a lot at the moment. And of course, history will lead you to gold a lot of the time too. But then once you get out on the ground, you're looking for all the signs that I guess every prospector in the world wants to see. You're looking for ironstone and quartz for a start. They're always going to be a good sign. And because we've got detectors, so we're looking for shallow ground, gold-bearing ground that our detectors can actually punch down to where the gold is. So we're looking for clay beds or bedrock, shallow creeks, or bony ground, as we call it, ground that's really rocky, doesn't really have much soil or loam or anything on it. And that way your detector's going to hear the gold. So that's some of the main things we use. But my biggest thing I find in the bush, or my biggest guide, is vegetation. Australia is such an old country, and we've got our specific types of vegetation that grow in certain ground types. And there's a lot of old trees and bushes here that really like iron-rich ground. And of course, gold and iron come hand in hand. So I chase vegetation a lot. That's one of my greatest things in the bush. I can look at a hill that's a kilometre away and know what the ground's like just by the type of trees that's growing on the hill. So I'm sure that's something that's used worldwide too, not just for us.
Yeah, I saw your video about that actually.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Because in Montana, we just have pine trees, and they're everywhere, so there's no real distinction with the.
It's rough.
Yeah, and it is true. Like just because you find iron and quartz, as we all know, doesn't mean you're going to find gold. The only true indicator for gold is gold at the end of the day. So,
Right.
but it's a great spot to start a search, and then you can work out. And as always, we head to the waterways first, see where gravity's, what gravity's brought in from the hills, and then work up from there, just like the old timers did.
Yeah. Carl Madley, one of our co-hosts, is asking, is there public grounds, or do you have to own a claim to be able to look for gold?
Yeah, so in Australia we have the GPAs, which are general permission areas. Every state's actually different. So when you go to Queensland or New South Wales, you've got to jump on Google and bring up the government website for that state, and it'll tell you all the laws. You've got to buy like a prospector license or a fossicking license in each state, and they're usually like $50 for a year, so they're not super expensive. But then every state's got its massive open areas, general permission areas. They might be 20 or 30 square kilometres. Some places have got dozens of those areas. There's plenty of private property that opens up to prospectors as well. And some states it's almost open slather. You can just, if it's public ground, you can go for it. So, but every state's different, but there is a vast amount of ground that's open to public from all over the world. Just got to get the couple of little bits of paperwork, and make sure you're going to the right areas. Obviously, you don't want to go into private property or someone's working lease, because then you will be liable. So, but it's really easy. It's a real tourism thing in Australia for us. So we make it easy for people to understand and find this ground, and and hopefully find a bit of gold too.
No, that's cool.
That's awesome.
We have this prospector from North Carolina is asking, how does staking a claim work in Australia?
Right, so it's once again different for every state. In Queensland, staking a claim's about a 5-year exercise that'll drive you crazy with all the government legislation. In Western Australia, it's about a 2-week exercise that'll take you about as long as it takes to drink a beer, and you'll be on the ground in no time. So that varies from state to state, unfortunately, and Queensland's probably got the worst of it, and WA's the easiest place to get open ground, new ground for yourself.
Okay.
Yep.
Have you ever staked a claim?
No, I actually have never staked a claim. Now, a lot of my mates have. And there's a few reasons I don't. One, I'm an explorer. I want to find new deposits. I want to search ground that the old timers never searched, that people don't look in for gold and find new deposits. So that's what gets me out of bed in the morning. So, and I'm horrible at mechanics. I hate even changing brake pads or oil, let alone working on big machinery. And I'd be like a caged animal. So no, it's not for me. I'll help plenty of mates drop ground. I've given plenty of people good ground to take up, and so that gives me a lot of great leases to stay on and go and watch them work and do a bit of exploration with them. But at the end of the day, I just want to explore. So no leases for me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, at
that's
least you got
great.
grounds you can go work by helping them out. Gives you
Yeah.
something to do.
Hey, I'm kind of a mechanic. You just bring me over there and
Yeah.
I'll fix your stuff. And
That'd be great. Because honestly, I've probably spent 50 hours driving my excavators and that sort of thing, and while I'm capable, it's just not for me. I was that kid at school that you couldn't keep quiet until you had to throw them outside, it's but it's always good to see, like, because I've found ground, and you wonder, like, what's down deep, what is down at 10 yards down at bedrock. And so when mates buy a lease, it's always really great to watch them do what they do and get their gold out, and they usually take pretty good care of me too, of course, if I put them on the ground.
That's
But
awesome.
it's scratch each other's back sort of set up for me. So.
Okay.
What are some misconceptions people have often about gold prospecting?
Sorry, I missed that one. Go again.
What are some misconceptions people have often about gold prospecting?
Well, especially with a detector, if you've been watching shows like Aussie Gold Hunters and that, we make it look pretty easy, and there's a good reason for that. It's my job, and it's what I'm supposed to do. It's like any professional, we make our jobs look easy.
Yeah.
But for the average Joe, you're going to go out into a new gold field, and you're not even going to know the roads. You don't even know how to drive around the place yet. So don't go out there thinking you're going to jump out of the car and walk onto a massive patch of gold. It does happen, mind you, but beginner's luck isn't that common. It's, I guess, at the end of the day, it's just a lot tougher than what people think it's going to be. The reality of the weather, of how hard the ground is to dig, of how much junk you dig out. Like, you're always digging out shotgun pellets and bits of rusty tin and boot tacks, and so a realistic expectation, I guess, is the best way to put it. Don't go out there thinking you're going to get rich. Go out there pretty well expecting that this is a tough learning curve, and it might take you a month or two before you track down your first bit of gold.
That answers my next question I was going to ask you.
Andy,
Okay,
what does
well-
a successful day of prospecting look like for you beyond just finding gold?
Yeah, so I've got sort of two different seasons I work on the Palmer. One which is the dead of winter, and so the day's really nice. It gets down to, I'm going to talk in Celsius here, so you guys might have to change over if you can, but I go from about 10 degrees Celsius up to about 32, so
Right.
which is really fair weather. Like, it's beautiful weather, so it's just great. Winter's just perfect on Palmer River. So those 3 months, I started about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning and prospect about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But then during the build-up, which is just so hot, it is brutally hot, I'll wake up before dark, and then I'll get ready so that I drive out into the bush, and often I'll wait for the sun to crack before I can start work, just trying to beat the heat. Yeah. And then you'll work to about 10 o'clock, which, so I've done about 5 hours work. By then you've been through about 3 or 4 litres of water, and you've got to head for home. It's just so hot. So it really shortens down the days, but at the same time, it's really good prospecting because it's so dry. Everything is so dry. The detector's running smooth. The ground's all super dry. It's pretty easy to dig. And I actually find the most gold in those hot periods. So, the average day for me prospecting is getting up really early, getting some food in, and prospecting as hard as you can until it gets so hot you've got to come home. And then, just try and find a cool spot, chill out for the heat of the day, and maybe get out for a couple of hours again in the afternoon, especially if you're on gold, like you want to get back out. But most days on the Palmer, I'll find gold too, just a bit, at least, 2 or 3 little nuggets that'll add up to half a gram or something. And in this day and age, you don't need much gold to survive, as it turns out. So,
Especially with the price of gold the way it is, hey?
Yeah.
Holy.
Yep.
What is gold? What's gold right now in Australia?
so I think it's about 6,500 an ounce.
Wow.
Which, of course, being a metric nation, we work on grams. That works out about $210 a gram for me. So if I can find 2 grams a day, I'm making wages, enough wages to cover costs and survive. So if I find a quarter of an ounce a day, you're making pretty good money in this day and age.
Wow.
Yep.
I need
Yep.
some gold
Like
like
you want to
that.
get a detector and go to Australia.
Sheesh.
And my
Right?
best day this year was 2.5 ounces in one day. So
Holy cow!
Was that the one that I saw? It's at 80 grams? 80
and that
grams,
was this year. I've had some cracker years. Me and a couple of mates, we found a kilo patch, which is 33 ounces, and we extracted that in 3 days. So,
Oh, jeez.
yeah.
So we have a list of questions here from some viewers. Justin's asking, this is off topic, but have you ever punched a roo?
I've never punched a roo, but I've seen big buckaroos get cranky, mate, and you want to be a pretty good boxer, let me tell you. Or back
Yeah,
to the corner, one or the other. Because they're pretty cranky and they're pretty bloody strong too.
Oh, wow.
Unfortunately, we're not gonna talk about the show too much tonight. But we can, you can message Andy privately on,
Yeah, sure.
if you'd like. James is asking, what was your biggest nugget? Was your biggest nugget your most favorite, or was this your first nugget your favorite?
Well, yeah, actually, there's my biggest nugget just under 6 ounces, so pretty hefty bit.
God.
And it came when we found that 33 ounce patch, so that was the big boy. There was a 2.5 ouncer in there. The first 10 nuggets I took out of that patch were all over half an ounce, so we get sort of pretty used to getting big nuggets. But my favourite nugget is actually the one that I wear on. I've normally got a pendant, but the leather snapped at the moment. And it's an 18.9 gram nugget, and it was the first nugget I found on that 33 ounce patch, and it's
Holy
just what it
cow.
represents. That the run, those 3 days, like the blisters, our hands were all just bleeding in the end because we couldn't stop digging. You couldn't stop digging. It was just proper gold fever. Like we were just in a rush for 3 days. That one nugget will always stay with me. It's it means a lot, that one.
Oh my gosh.
Changed my life.
You need help? We'll move.
Yeah, I get a lot of offers for help.
I bet you do.
Yeah.
I bet you do. Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Cuevas Prospecting is asking, do you have any kind of help or program to help the new generation get into metal detecting?
Yeah, look, we use an app in Australia called Detector Maps, and that application, it's on our phone. We use it. It's got all our it's a tracking app, satellite imagery, pinpoint waypoints, all that sort of stuff. Take a photo, add it in. It's got all our geology. It's got all our lidar. It's got our boundaries, like property boundaries and general permission areas, all that sort of stuff, all in one app. That's how, and it's just for detector operators. So that's how big it is in Australia. So that bit of technology plays a massive part in all our lives. So every night when I get home from prospecting, I'm on the application, looking at the satellite imagery, working out where my next day's prospecting is, and getting a plan. And I guess that's, if I could share anything with people that are trying to cover a lot of ground or become professionals, you've got to have a game plan. You can't just wander out in the bush and willy-nilly pick ground. You've got to be systematic and like any profession, you go in knowing what you've got to achieve that day and knowing what you want to achieve by the end of the week and by the end of the year. So have a professional mindset.
Do you do chaining when you're metal detecting?
Look, I actually don't. The Queensland government really makes you jump through so many hoops that it's just financially would put me in a hole if I started training people. So I just actually don't do it, and that's part of the reason a lot of my YouTube, or especially my Facebook, is tutorial videos. So I'm not giving away all the really nitty gritty secrets, but I give away a lot of the basics and medium sort of information that'll get people started and get them going. So my Facebook especially has got a lot of tutorial videos.
Give them that push into the beginnings of things.
That's right, yeah. And where I'll touch on geology and really basic settings for detectors, even what sort of detector I think people should buy for their budget, and all those sort of details that beginners look for. Like there's a million videos out there how to pan gold and that sort of thing, but not so much on how to get started with a metal detector, because it's a big investment. I mean, my two detectors, when I add up the cost of all of them and all the extras I got on them, we're looking at about 22 or 23,000 Australian dollars.
Wow.
And that's just for my detectors. So it's an investment.
Yeah. Does the Australian government have a claim on your gold, or is it legal for you to keep? This is from Cottonwood Trails Gold Camp in Indiana.
So all our gold we find is legal for us to keep. Tasmania has laws where you're not allowed to sell any Tasmanian gold, so you're still allowed to find and keep it, but you're not supposed to sell it, unless you've got a claim, of course, but from a hobbyist or amateur point of view. So, and then we have a tax-free threshold for selling gold too, so you can sell X amount before you're going to start getting hit with the tax office bill.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Good old tax office.
Nope. The government's always got to get their finger in there.
Got to get in there. But they also realise, like, we want gold. Our economy does well just because we're bringing gold into the economy. But it's the tourism thing. We make a lot of money from tourism in Australia, and gold prospecting is really stepping up.
So when you're metal detecting, sorry.
Go ahead, Nick.
Do you have special techniques with your detector, and do you use different types of detectors for different terrains?
Yeah, that's right. So I've got two different types of detectors. I've got the MineLab GPX 6000 and the MineLab GPZ 7000. So the MineLab 6000 is my favourite machine to use for the vast majority of the time. It's really light and really sensitive and handles mineralised ground really well. So that's my favourite detector. And I often set it when I'm searching new ground. Like I said, I'm an explorer. So I spend a lot of time walking through country with no gold. So I set my detector a little bit dumbed down, if you will. So I'm not getting slowed down by things like mineralisation changes or ground noise, as we call it, or hot rocks, like really iron-rich hot rocks and that sort of thing. So I can get through the bush really quick. But then once I get onto gold, I punch it right up so it's sensitive, like really sensitive. We're getting nuggets down to 0.02 of a gram with these detectors.
Oh, wow.
So tiny gold. But then at the same time, you'll dig a 2 ouncer at 3 foot. Like these things they're the gun machine. There's no doubt about it. But then my other detector, the 7000, I've got it set up just to punch for big, deep gold. That's its job. So once I've cleaned out a patch with my first detector, the 6000, which is great for small, shallow gold and really small gold, and pretty good on big gold, then I bring in the 7000, the big boy, and make sure I haven't missed any big, deep gold. And you've only got to get 1 6-gram nugget, and it's covered for the day. So
6-gram nugget.
like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Biggest nugget I've ever found is like 0.10 sluicing.
Yeah, there you go. And that's where I started too. The first 3 years prospecting was just panning and sluicing for me, and I learned a lot from that. I still carry a lot of the things I learned from panning into gold prospecting to this day. And one of the biggest things I learned and have proven time and time again is that fine gold and nuggety gold end up in different parts of the creek or in different areas. The amount of times I found patches full of really nice small nuggets, like hundreds and hundreds of nuggets the size of a pea or smaller, and then you go back and take 20 buckets of dirt and go and process it and don't get one single speck of gold, not one. And you think, well, how is this possible? And then you go 300 meters down the creek and dig out a heap of crevices and get heaps of fine gold but no nuggets. So I've been doing that my whole life. So it's one thing I've learned is nuggety gold and fine gold sort of play a different game once they get in the creeks.
Okay. All right. We got a question from Quay that's prospecting again, and he's wondering, on your preference, what kind of detector would you recommend for entry-level beginners that are just getting into it?
So I still think you want to get the Mine Lab detectors. In Australia, really, nothing else gets used. We just use Mine Labs. And you can get a few entry-level ones, or what we consider entry-level, with the SDC 2300 or the Gold Monster 2000, a fairly new one that's come out. They're both very capable machines and not going to break your balance. Well, hopefully not. But then you can move up to your sort of GPX 5000. But if you can afford it, that Mine Lab GPX 6000 is just hands down the best detector for beginners. It's so light. The settings are so easy. There's really hardly any settings. It's just so great. To switch on and go. And if you're in gold bearing ground, it's not going to miss them. It'll get it.
Okay. And
So
Travis jumped out, it looks like, but he has a
I was
question.
just. Oh.
Go ahead, Stacey, if you want to read it. Yeah.
What's your advice on where to find nuggety gold in a creek?
Rightio. So the old timers were onto this one. I'm sure anyone that's worked in any areas where they've seen old timers diggings know that they never missed an inside bend. They dug out inside bends all the time. So a lot of my really good gold, big nuggety gold, big runs, has come up out of the creek on low terraces, on where the creek used to run 100,000 years ago, or 2 million years ago, halfway up a hill. It's like existing creeks are good. I found good gold in them, but as far as big nuggety gold, it's always up on an inside bend or on a low or high terrace where the creek once ran years and years ago. They're my favourite spots. I actually put a lot of time into chasing ancient creeks or ancient riverbeds.
Nice. Okay. Well, do you have any rituals that you think help you find gold more consistently? Any traditions?
I don't know. I've had the same gold jar for about 8 years, and if I lost it, I don't think I'd ever be able to go prospecting again. I just love it. Look, I have got little things, I suppose. I've got the 4-pocket tap. I've got, I carry 4 pockets, and I've got one thing in each pocket. So people wandering along behind me must wonder why I spend half a day tapping my pockets to make sure I haven't left anything behind. Just little rituals that you start the day with, I guess. In Australia, of course, we've got our traditional owners here, and we live and work in amongst them, and they're always at me that every time I start the day or go in the bush, I should be saying g'day to the people that used to live there. So that's a pretty common thing too, to walk out and just basically say good morning to the bush. G'day, how you going? Mate, keep the footsteps safe, make sure I don't step on any snakes, and get me home safe to the family. It's almost like a prayer or just a acknowledgement of where you're at.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yep.
Well, that's a neat tradition, actually.
So speaking along those lines, I work with Indigenous peoples here in Canada, and how are you able to go prospecting on Indigenous land in Australia? Do you have to get special permissions?
Yep.
How does that work?
So some of our GPAs are on Indigenous land, but they've already granted permission. Places like Palmerville Station, and now up on Cape York's one of our richest areas for traditional owners and for history, for cave paintings. Some of them are 30, 40,000 years old. So we're always sort of got to be really respectful. There's parts of Palmerville Station we simply don't go to or don't prospect out of respect, because that's their ancestors' homes there, where they lived in the caves and where they hunted and all their artifacts are there, and we've got plenty of other spots we don't need to do that. So we do have other areas where you can get permission just from those guys to go in prospecting, but I sort of don't do that. I give them their space. I've got plenty of ground. So yeah.
How has your equipment setup evolved over the years?
Yeah, so I guess camelbacks, those backpacks that have got the water bladders in them and the drinking nozzle, that changed everything for us. So once I got a camelback and I started having all my water there and at the mouth tip, I started hanging my pick in the loop and hanging it straight down my back instead of off my hip, and that made a huge difference. It's so much easier to walk, the weight's more centered. That's how it's changed a lot, I guess. That backpack with the water bladders in them, sort of, instead of having a backpack and having to take it off and get your water bottle out and have a drink, it's made it much more streamlined. So as soon as you're thirsty, boom, just have a drink and back off again.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. What tools would you consider essential, and which ones would you often say are overrated?
Yeah, so pinpointers is the one thing I don't carry. I don't think, like, our detectors are that sensitive. You've already got a pinpointer. You don't need to carry one. And I'm really big on only carrying what I need because I'm walking up really, rough terrain, trying to cover as much distance as I can, so I carry as little weight as I need. But the first thing I put in my backpack as an Aussie is a snake bite bandage. So that's the first thing that goes in. And then we often carry a Leatherman, which is one of the all tools, like a pocket knife that's got the pliers and the screwdriver and all that. So we'll carry one of them as well. Bit of running repairs on your boots or on your detector or whatever. And really, that's the only two things. A lot of guys carry EPIRBs, like an emergency beacon or a satellite phone. I carry a two-way radio myself, so I've got some sort of contact with the outside world in case I break an ankle or something like that. Right. So after that, though, it's just, detector, pick, scoop, gold jar, and nothing. I'm not carrying anything I don't need. Now, if in real bedrocky country where I'm chasing gold and bedrock, I'll carry a half a hacksaw blade so I can scratch the nuggets out of the little bedrock cracks nice and easy.
Right. Well, for wildlife,
sorry guys,
do you have
had to use the restroom.
No worries. Do you use anything for like snakes or anything? Do you have any kind of anything you pack with you, or snake bites, or?
So, our snakes are the type of snakes that if you get done, there's going to be life-lasting effects if you survive. So we're pretty careful. We grew up with them too. Like, I grew up, every time you left the house on our farm or we're out in the bush with the old man, as soon as you'd leave camp, he'd always be yelling out, "Watch out for Joe Blake," which of course is watch out for the snakes. So it was always drummed into you. And as a prospector, it's pretty easy because you're always looking at the ground in front of you anyway. So snakes actually don't worry me one bit. I've had a few close calls with a few pigs, but look, the most dangerous animal in the bush in Australia is probably the same as the most dangerous animal in the bush anywhere in the world, and that's humans. They're the ones you got to watch.
Isn't that the truth? That's the truth right there. Yeah.
Well, if someone were to ask you for one piece of wisdom, whether life or prospecting, what would you say?
Have confidence in your own abilities. That's the greatest bit of life advice I ever got off one of my mates. He saw me struggling a bit sort of during my late 20s and not knowing where I was going. And he kept saying to me, like, "You're fantastic at what you do, Andy. Just believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Go out there with confidence. Like, you don't have to strut, but you can still walk with confidence, And that did change everything. When I went into professional prospecting, when we talked about earlier, I made that step in. I backed my own abilities. I believed in myself. So that's the greatest bit of life advice I've ever got. It changed my life anyway.
That's great advice, actually.
Have you ever looked for opals in the outback?
I have, but I'm not a huge fan of the desert. So the opal people can keep their opals. I'll swap them for gold.
No. Okay. Have you ever found an opal?
I love it.
Yeah. Look, guys, my battery's about to go flat on my phone, so I don't know how much longer I got.
No, we appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
That's
Yeah,
all
we
right.
appreciate it.
Enjoying it too.
I wanted to ask you quickly about your podcast, the Prospector podcast. What kind of conversations do you enjoy having the most on your podcast, and when does it air?
So I'd like to say we're really consistent with airing on our podcast, but I keep running off in the bush chasing gold, and we don't get them out religiously. But I think what I enjoy about our podcast now is we've lost the structure, and now it's just a couple of mates having a chat and getting on people, a bit like this, just prospectors having a chat, and
Yeah.
and that's what I like most. And people seem to enjoy that, just a nice, relaxed sort of atmosphere. And we talk about new technologies or safety things like it's our storm season in Australia. So our last sort of chat on safety was don't get caught in the bush in a big hailstorm and that sort of thing. So it's just, a bit of life advice, a bit of prospecting advice, a couple of blokes having a chat.
Nice.
Can
Sounds
we
like
get
my
his
kind of time.
podcast put up on in chat or something
Yeah,
for everybody can?
So we've Australia's renowned for having really, really terrible internet, and everyone's right. We've got horrible internet, so we've been a bit slack on getting a few up lately, just because, the internet's been so slow. Every time we've tried, it just won't upload. So we are slowly getting that sorted. We got Starlink now, so Elon Musk has sort of saved us
There you
and given
go.
us half decent internet now. So,
Nice. And you also have a YouTube channel, the Modern Day Prospector.
Yep.
So everybody make sure. Oh,
Nope.
he died. So that
Yep. I think he went out.
yeah, that's okay. He
I got his YouTube channel posted right as he was going away.
No.
okay. Anyways, that was Andy. We will try to get him back up.
Oh yeah,
When
he
has
was
a charged phone.
he was great.
I could talk to Andy forever. We
Good
will
dude.
definitely get him back up again. I'm sure he'll be good to come back up. But we have a little quick commercial we'll play for you guys. We'll come back and we'll chat for another 8 minutes and we'll cut it off the hour. You guys good with that?
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Sounds great.
All right.
Make the wifey happy.
Oh, Red Dirt Nation, rise and stand from the treasures deep in the soil's hand. A family of brothers, hand in hand. This is our home. This is our land. The river sang as we toiled away. Their whispers kept the fears at bay. Fields of gold from the seeds we sowed, a testament to the lives we hold. Though the wind may howl, the earth may quake, but roots run deep with every stake. The blood, the sweat, the laughter too. This
So there you go.
Awesome.
We're having our Christmas party next week. I think I might have done a whoops on Carl's package.
What do you mean?
I think I forgot to send him these.
Oh, I was gonna ask you if Carl got some. Shit.
He
You
did.
know what? I can get because Nick has them, and I'll just send, or we'll send them to him.
Okay, yeah, you send him yours, and Stacy will get yours down to you.
Okay.
Oh my God.
We'll
This-
figure it out.
You guys, I've been so busy. Work's
Oh,
been
yeah.
crazy.
We're fine.
Anyways, we're gonna give some of these away at the Christmas party next. What the fuck? Yeah, we're gonna give some of these away They're poker chips of Red Dirt Nation.
I threw a few select ones into packages too.
We'll
know.
figure it out.
We got some other things we'll give away. We'll figure some little things. We're not going to do huge items. We'll have a few giveaways. We're not going to do a whole lot because we just did a benefit. So I think all of us are kind of tapped right now. So
Mhm.
Oh, we
we'll
might
do a
have a
few
little
things.
Spider-Man stuff involved.
Yeah, but also a lot of people, I want to get involved. I think Red Dirt Nation is wanting to get involved with the benefit that's happening with JP and John Wrench. There's I forget the individual's name, but they had a stroke and they're needing some help.
Oof.
I
Yeah.
will get more information on that as it gets
Yeah.
closer. But I do know that the benefit is happening in January. I think it's January 15th on Wrench's channel.
Carl's got a party coming up
Um,
on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, Carl's got a
Yep. Carl's got his
500 giveaway,
500 sub giveaway party. Yeah.
and he's got
Uh,
rings and pay dirt and other really cool goodies.
Yeah, he's got some wicked stuff happening. Red Dirt Nation, we've been up for what, a week?
Yeah.
We like this channel, no, it's been 2 weeks. This channel's been up.
2 weeks now as of yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks as of yesterday. Three, yeah,
Nope, 2 weeks.
something like that. How much?
2 weeks. We started it right before the last stream.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
And-
2 weeks.
and
We have endured YouTube
weeks
purging
also.
us over crazy amount of people, but we got them all back. We endured Google deciding to think we are spam or
or
bots
bots.
and
Oh my
shut
God.
down our Google account and thus our YouTube channel. But we appealed it, and here we are. We're back, and
We
we're
do survive.
we survived, and somehow we are at in 2 weeks 182 subscribers.
Cool.
Laura was telling us in chat it's 3 weeks because it's our third interview.
3 weeks.
And
Faro's bouncing. His tits are bouncing around. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
and like, Sharon,
I'm joking,
like,
Carl.
share, and
I'm just
subscribe,
joking.
please.
Yeah.
Shit.
We
I
have
did-
been beaten up. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment, please. And a like and a comment will. Oh, we've endured some crazy stuff.
Well,
True.
look at that. Cottonwood Trails says they're going to give away a 3-day pass for Cottonwood Gold Camp anytime in 2026.
Oh,
Oh, what? Is this for John Wrench's channel? Is that what you guys are talking about? Because James is giving away another Rigby bag.
Yes, I saw a
Or-
Rigby bag mentioned in there. Yeah.
or Christmas party. I don't.
I don't know. Can you guys clarify if that's for the Christmas party or for John Wrench?
Yeah.
Hang on. I want to clarify here. Because if so, I'm going to write those down. For the benefit. Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Christmas party, we're just going to keep it small because, yeah.
Yeah, that's just supposed to be for fun before the holidays.
Yeah, we're just going to do something small but yeah, because really the benefit should, like, look at this. I got this in the mail.
Oh wow, that's
cool.
awesome.
Right? That's from Dustin Hurt, Danielle Miller, Paul and Wes Richardson. That's wicked. and I am so glad I get to show that off. I'm going to show it off as much as I can, especially when Carl's here.
But you can do the.
Can't give it back if it's got your germs on it. No one wants cooties.
Oh, Scrappy got his plaque. Nice. Carl says that's mine. My wife is dink. All right. We are at that 1 hour mark. It was a nice
Next
short
question.
time.
Did we get the Red Dirt Nation merch figured out for it can go, cross country?
Well, it can go across the United States. It just can't come to Canada. And I think Carl is in need of trying to figure that out because I need a Red Dirt Nation hoodie.
Well, yeah, I was wondering because I know there's an outlet there in Toronto. So
yeah. I don't know. I might have to me and Carl are having a love-hate relationship right now.
Somebody
I love
sounds
to
salty
hate
that
you.
you got that plaque.
He's loving to hate me right now, exactly. Scrappy loves this hoodie. He's got it on right now. It's Red Dirt Nation hoodie.
Scrappy has his.
Anyways, I'll
All
get
right.
more information on this benefit that Wrench is holding and that GP's holding. We are doing our Christmas party next week. Question/answer. Just have an empty bag ready next visit and pack the crap out of it. 403. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't see chat.
Oh, just have next visit and pack the crap out of it for it. Okay. Next visit. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Anyways, Christmas party next week. Some giveaways. Be here. We'll hope to see you because we're ringing in Christmas like a boss.
Oh yeah.
Like a boss.
Anyways, we also are gonna have our winter 2026 guest lineup announcement next Monday. So it's huge. We've got some big names coming up January, February, and March to roll us out into spring for next mining season. So be here to see who's coming up. That's it.
Oh,
have a good week, everybody.
And remember the winter project.
DIY build.
DIY build.
Right. I don't think we've really promoted that enough. So
well
no, we have not.
No, we haven't.
So
it's $100 top. All you can. That's all you can spend. That's your budget, and make a cool gold gathering machine.
I just don't know if we have enough people even interested right now, Stacy.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who are.
Nobody's in. If you're interested, email reddirtnations@gmail.com to get us a list of people who are interested in doing a DIY build off. There has to be more than just Stacy. All right. So let us know if you're interested by the end of December. Because if we don't have emails by the end of December, we ain't doing it.
Right.
All right. So you've got 2 weeks to let us know if you want us to hold off a build off, something like that.
Yeah, winter build off. Make a gold finding machine.
Email us at reddirtnations@gmail.com. Carl put it in the chat. Thank you, Carl. I love but hate you at the same time. Anyways, we'll see you at the Christmas party. Have a good week, everybody. Heavy pans.
Later,
Have a
guys.
good one.
Later, everybody.
Like, share, and subscribe. Hit that